You are now listening to the fastest show on iSports Radio. My name is Darryl Kinsey Jr. welcoming you to the lap of Extra Mile for today, May 26, 2025. And my, oh my, what a weekend of racing it was for at least two of the races on the Memorial Day trifecta. And to help me talk about all of this, of course, my co-host, Jenn B.
Hello.
Thank you all for joining us this evening. Big Mike of Indy Sports Nation will be joining us at 8:20 to talk about the Indianapolis 500 and everything that went down there, including a double attempt that couldn't have gone worse. But we'll talk about all of that on the other side of this break. Here's the Pace of Bills. Get ready to get started with this edition of The Extra Mile. Sit tight. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, sports fans. It's me, your boy Larry B, and I want to walk you through the world of sports. No, not just the mainstream major TV deal type sports, although those are important too. But let me be your guide through your journey of all sports, from college to the pros, the minors, and everything in between. Each week, we are talking sports galore with true diehards just like you from a hardcore fan's perspective that's sure to quench your thirst around leagues you may know all too well and some you may even discover here. That's right, sports fans. If you love sports of all kinds, enjoy hearing amazing sports stories, and respect all sports because you know how difficult any of them can be to play or compete in, then this is your show. Join me, your boy Larry B, on the defining moment each week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, and let the sports come to you.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we're back here in the Extra Mile on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And just when I thought this night couldn't get even more special, one of our co-hosts we've been eagerly waiting for has joined us again. Michael Ward is here with us as well this evening.
Hello,
Michael,
everybody. Hello.
And you joined us just in time because we're going to talk the Grand Prix of Monaco.
Can't we just skip that?
I wish we could. I'm going to do a quick interpretation of how most of us were watching that race on Sunday.
I mean, like, honestly, I didn't even watch it.
I will say I watched it. I was in front of the TV. It was on. But I'm pretty sure I was not paying attention by about lap 15. Lando Norris.
15, I can guarantee you he was on Star
race.
Citizen.
What about Star Citizen?
I said on lap 15, I feel like you said screw this and got on Star Citizen.
Not really. I was Mike, let me turn you up a little bit. But actually no, I was with Miriam. It was her birthday. So
Happy birthday to her, by the way.
yeah, happy belated birthday, baby. If I wanted to stay soon to be married, I was not going to be on Star Citizen on set. But no, we were sitting there watching the race, and about halfway, watching the race, I use it tangentially. About halfway through, I was just scrolling the computer. Miriam was next to me playing some phone game. We were out of it, and the drivers said the same thing. That race sucked.
Yeah, there's a lot of multitude of factors, but most of the biggest one I think that makes that track just not work in the ground effect era is honestly how big the cars are. I think.
Well, let's not give it to the ground effect era. Let's keep it a buck. This track has not been raceable for Formula One since, I'll say, the 80s.
80s, okay, yeah.
And then even going into the 90s. But you have not been able to pass here for quite some time. This car has just exasperated it.
Unless you dive bomb them and hope they saw you.
We can't even do that anymore because now the car's being so wide, there's not even enough room to dive bomb.
Yeah, so it presents a very difficult overtaking, and they tried to make the overtaking more interesting, and I feel like they made the race a lot worse.
Yeah. Jen, did you watch any of this?
So I watched the kids version for a while because I couldn't find the actual race.
You were watching the kids version.
There was a kids version.
There was. It was on ESPN2. It was very interesting.
Larry B tuned in about 6 Pacific, tuned out around 6:15, woke up again at 6:25, went back to sleep at 6:30. You didn't miss anything.
You might have missed George Russell cutting the chicane and then just going, I don't care anymore.
I mean, that was the most interesting part, was him saying, screw this, I'll take the 5-second penalty just to get past this car. And then they gave him a drive-through.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll show you to make a mockery of our rules.
Yeah. So I found the actual race with about 15 laps to go. So I saw the finish.
How was the
awesome.
kids version?
It was interesting. I was like, Formula One kids, what the heck is this? So I turned it on, and you know how they do the thing on the side where with the racing order?
Yeah.
So all of the drivers had little like anime faces.
Mm-hmm.
And like little, cartoon characters / anime. They kind of looked like the avatars on Facebook.
I saw some of those, so we flicked over to it when you mentioned it.
Yeah, and then there were I think it was 2 women calling the race, which was interesting.
Yes, I think it was Bertie Collins was one of them. I don't know who else was there because we changed back at some point.
Yes, I changed once you told me the right channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really weren't showing a whole lot of the actual race. They were showing more like pictures of the like aerial views of the area, and then they had like the racetrack in the little box with the little cartoon heads going around the track. So it was interesting. I think I preferred Disney's version of the NFL over ESPN's Formula One kids.
Yeah, I don't think even the kids version couldn't save what Larry B calls the Monaco Grand Prix, aka the world's fastest parade. Let's get into this, Michael. They tried this thing, you mentioned it, where they had mandated 2 pit stops. Somehow that just made the race so much worse.
Yeah, and you had a lot of teams playing around the 2 pit stops, but then you had what Williams did, and I think another team did it.
It was Williams and V-Carb. I'll let you talk about this, then I got to rant.
Basically, what they did was they used one car to back the field up while the other car sped away. Pitt came out ahead, and they let the other car go speed away while the other car backed up, and they just did that throughout the whole time, to the detriment of Mercedes, by the way.
I supposedly Mercedes just forgot about the 2 pit stop rule, but the issue that I have is that it basically started looking like an F1 manager race. At least from F1 Manager 1, where the cars just wouldn't break up from the pack. So it's just a DRS train the whole time, and then you'd have the leaders up front. It made it to a point where everybody under 4th was a lap down. So Verstappen just rode around because he had made his pit stop, but he had to make the second one or he's going to get disqualified. He basically just rode around until the last lap and then pitted and then finished 4th. And that's how Norris ended up winning the race.
I think they said he was he was hoping for a safety car or a red flag or something like that.
Well, yeah, because he was hoping for the free pit stop because then he'd win. Because, again, it is impossible to pass at Monaco.
Yeah, but for some reason, people didn't crash this year.
It would have been better if they had. Because then at least something would have shaken up the field.
That's true.
So my question is, how do we even... Is this race even fixable? Let's start there.
You would have to do something to the track.
The problem is what? It's really hard baked into those streets at this point.
Yeah, that is the difficult part. Like, what do you do?
You can't exactly widen the road.
Just tear down some buildings. It's no big deal.
Oh, the ultra rich condos? I'm sure that'll go over great. I think you cancel it. I think we just got to take the Monaco Grand Prix off the schedule because it's not suitable for modern Formula One, and it's just a waste of time.
But Darryl, the billionaires.
Who cares?
I mean, they could just do qualifying and award the points accordingly.
That's how I would do it. That's the only way you save that race at this point. And if you think we're going to get any more exciting Formula One, we're going to Spain this week. So if you're missing on your sleep, you're going to get some riveting F1 television to snooze to. But hey, we'll be right back. When we come back, Big Mike of Indy Sports Nation will be joining us to talk the 109th running of the Indy 500 and a start of the double that did not go particularly well for one driver. We'll talk about that on the other side of this break here on the Extra Mile on iSports Radio, your feed for all that is sports.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
And we're back here at Extra Mile on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Darryl, Jenn, and Michael here with you as we were rocking out to some Seal the Deal wax seals to wrap up this first break of the night. And joining us is a member of the iSports Radio family who I am very, 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 very jealous of because he got to go to the 109th running of the Indy 500 and all the action there in the month of May. Big Mike of Indy Sports Nation joins us here on the program. Big Mike, welcome. And I'm just going to say it again. I am very jealous of you, sir.
Hey, first and foremost, Darryl, thank you so much for having me. Jen, you as well. How the heck is everybody?
We're doing great. 2 of the 3 races on Sunday were good. We're not going to talk about Monaco anymore than we have to.
Good.
Yeah. So let's get into it. You were ground zero, the greatest spectacle in racing. How was it being there with 250,000 of your closest friends?
There's absolutely nothing like it, man. I mean, if you're born and bred in the state of Indiana, it's kind of what you do. There's so many traditions here that dates back just generation after generation after generation. And this is just what it is, man. This is what we all do. This is what we all love. Memorial Day weekend here in the city of Indianapolis, there's nothing like it. And you get there and they sold out this year, which is awesome. So they lifted the blackout locally.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I wish they would just get rid of that blackout, man.
It's so dumb now. I mean, it's so old school, and we haven't heard the official attendance, but they were estimating before the race about 350,000 when you consider all the people in the infield.
It sounds about right because I heard traffic getting in and out was a disaster.
It's an absolute disaster, but I'm very, very fortunate. I've got some great friends here who I go to the race with every year, and they have my buddy's son lives literally 1 mile from the track.
Mm-hmm.
So we walk, and then race is over. We watch the parade lap for the winner, walk back to the house, and then hydrate for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and drive home and have no issue.
Yeah, you get to sit out of there because I'm pretty sure Speedway, Indiana, does not have the infrastructure for 250,000 people. No.
And Indiana,
so let's get into
traffic to save their life. So yes, it's a disaster.
Yeah. So let's get into the race. We'll get into Penske's no good, very bad weekend a little bit later. But let's start with our pole sitter, Robert Schwartzman. And I think that just goes to say just how fickle this racetrack is, because last Sunday he was on cloud 9 winning the pole. This Sunday he barely makes it to halfway.
Yeah, unfortunately he has about as much experience on ovals as we do.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my fear for him. I mean, it was a great story. I mean, Prima, new team, whatnot, and him winning the pole was a cool story. But yeah, I mean, I had to imagine it was white knuckling like crazy leading that field to the green flag. And
it had to be a lot of fun. And the boss man has joined us as well, Larry B, to talk everything.
Now it's
Indy
a show.
500. Welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me, Darryl. I did not force my way on tonight's show at all, I promise.
Yeah.
I did not.
Hey, as we were talking about Robert Schwartzman and just it was a great exhilaration to lead the field of 33. Well, ended up being 32 with what happened to Scott McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Just hate that for him.
Pain.
And then the day never got better for Schwartzman. He got passed a couple of times, and then the rookie Indy does what it does to rookies. It chews them up, spits them out.
Yeah, ask his pit crew that when he hit 3 of them coming into the pits.
Yeah, that didn't look
That
pretty.
was ugly.
It was so bad.
I was like, oh my gosh.
But hey, but you're right, Darryl. It's just what it does to the rookies, man. I mean, it's just, especially someone who has no oval experience whatsoever. I mean, that was just a brutal task for him.
Yeah. And Larry, you can talk about that for any sport. I mean, how many NFL quarterbacks have we seen getting eaten up? Quite like what happened to Robert, where you think you've got it. That first game, you're like, oh, this is going to be easy, and then reality hits.
It's so sad. Like, it really is. I feel bad for that guy. I really do.
Same.
I feel bad the fact that, okay, obviously things happen, right? But when things happen, and then Darryl, things happen on top of other things, and then other things happen on top of other things, and you're a rookie, and it's like everything happens at once. It's like, wow, I thought it was going to be bad or hard, but I did not expect this. And then there's other rookies that tell you, like, or other people tell you, like, that was hard for me when I was a rookie, but damn, yours is way worse. It's that realization,
Yeah, and poor Scott McLaughlin, I kind of glossed over that. Didn't even get to take the start.
Oh, it killed me. I'm sorry, because I hate rain. I'm sorry. I used to like it. I hate rain now. I'm sorry. I have a actual thing against rain right now. I'm sorry. I'm not friends with it because that killed me. That image of him in the infield, I can't get it out of my head. It makes me want to punk something. Poor guy.
Mike, how was the crowd when that happened?
I mean, shocked. Just absolutely shocked. You could legit hear the gasps.
Yeah,
because I think a lot of people, I include myself, I thought he would actually contend for this race, being what happened with Penske after qualifying. Like, you know what? They're going to come back because you can never count out Penske at Indianapolis. You just can't.
No.
And I thought for sure, I'm like, man, you know what? They're going to rally behind McLaughlin, and he's had some decent moments of this track in the past, and it felt like he was kind of getting there, and then that happened, and we all thought, oh man, this is 1992 again, with Guerrero as the pole sitter, that parade lap, last parade lap, crashing out, cold track, wasn't as cold as it was then. But it was stunning.
Well, it was, and since we're talking on Penske, we should probably rip the Band-Aid off, and we'll go around the horn on this one. McLaughlin wrecks out before the start of the race. Will Power was there, but he didn't have the impact you thought you would or thought he would have. And then Newgarden, they have the fuel pressure issue, can't get the car back. It was a horrible day for Penske, even by their standards. It's even worse. But Jen, it's got to feel like some sort of divine retribution for this attenuator issue, and whether or not it was on last year's winning car, and the track kind of got its pound of flesh from Penske this weekend.
Karma.
Yep.
Karma is not a good person.
And Mike, you live up there, so what was the talk around town when all this was going on with Penske and the suspensions or the firings, really, and all of that?
The firings was kind of like, hey, you know what, Roger's say what you want about Roger. I think a lot of people here like him, the person. They criticized the management of the team, which I think you can separate the two, and I think that's fair. It also came out this week that, because those of you who don't know, you have the new IMS museum that's right within the track. So they always have the winning car from past 500s, and you had Newgarden from last year, and sure as that part was there, and it just got people going, what about, so did he get away with it last year too, after what he did last year at the beginning of the season and what have you? And I mean, there are a lot of not happy people about that. And I'll tell you this, the last note I'll tell you about this is when Newgarden went back to the pits and got out of the car, loud cheers.
Wow.
I hope he embraces the villain, because I feel like the series could probably kind of use that.
I think at this point, Larry, he has to. I mean, between what happened last year with Push to Pass, you win the race with a car that may or may not have been legal, and then you come into this year with the attenuator issue. At this point, you just got to embrace it because I don't think he's going to get that face persona that he had back at this point.
Yep.
Hell yeah, embrace it. No, I love it. Do it. Let's go. I'm a Rowdy fan because of that. Let's go, Kyle Busch. I hated Tony Stewart when I was a kid, low key, because of the little beef with Gordon. But like, I forgave him really fast because I was like, I like him. He doesn't care. He's mean. He's a little. Look at the Intimidator. People. It's funny because Darryl, you talked about this before, like obviously not to go somewhere else, but obviously it's crazy to hear like all of the love you hear for Senior, nowadays, obviously because he's gone. But don't forget when he was alive, everybody like hated him. The only people who loved him were like the villain lovers because he was like that guy.
I'm getting ready to say Jen still does.
R.I.P. But I still do.
I didn't like Senior at first, but the more I learned about him and how he basically manufactured that rivalry with Jeff Gordon to make some money for both of them, and it worked, I kind of respect him as a businessman because he saw that talent and said, I wonder how I can make the sport even better right here. So he started messing with the kid. And the funniest thing about that, and then we'll get back to the 500, is the two fans hated each other. But Jeff and Senior, they would fight on Sunday. On Monday, they'd call each other at the bank laughing while looking at their checks.
Yes.
But IndyCar could use something like that. And I think the other villain that is growing is Alex Palou, Michael, because he is like Thanos. He is inevitable at this point.
The Spanish Max Verstappen.
Yes.
Yep.
That is genius.
Yes.
Genius. I'm sorry. I love that. I'm sorry.
Max Verstappen, the Spanish.
Yeah. He got the move done with 14 to go on Ericsson. And I will say thank God, because we're going to get into what happened with Andretti later. But
yes,
before that, Mike, you're just sitting there thinking, great for Palou, but Ericsson again gets robbed.
Well, I tell you, we were watching this throughout the race,
Mm-hmm.
and we see Palou just kind of slowly but surely. Here he is in sixth. Oh, now he's in fifth. Now he's in fourth. We all were looking at each other going, I think that's the guy. Because,
Yep.
I mean, you just love him or hate him. You just got to look at what he's doing. I mean, this should be called NTT, IndyCar Series. Screw it. It's the Alex Palou Invitational.
Absolutely. And I've got a friend of mine that's not a fan of Palou because he's winning so much right now, but I love it. In a series like this, I can appreciate it more, where basically the cars are spec and it comes down to the driver. Unlike in Formula One, where it's a lot of car, everybody is basically in the same car. Alex Palou's talent in a series where the cars are the same matters more because it shows he is without a doubt the best driver in that grid.
Absolutely.
Quick one here, Darryl. Quick one for you, Darryl. Quick one before I forget it.
Okay.
How fun would it be to see all the drivers switch just for 1 year? All IndyCar go to Formula One, all Formula One go to IndyCar. What would you think? How fun would that be?
It would be a lot of fun to see the Formula One guys because we'd be able to finally answer the question of who's best.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the spec series, it takes the equation out of who's best because you put everybody in the same car. And Alex Palou this year, yes, he's with Ganassi. They might be able to get maybe a 10th or 2 out of it than everybody else with what they do during the week. But he's just beating the crap out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He had
What
no
can you
business
say?
winning that race.
Yeah.
And he found a way. When he got into second place, I was like, here we go. It's over. Alex is winning.
I saw him moving up, but I'm like, this is going to be the year. It's got to be the year with how well he's been doing.
It was the one race he needed to win, and he won it.
Yeah.
So I'll go around the horn. We'll start with Jen. After this win, is Alex Palou in the IndyCar GOAT conversation?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Mike?
Yeah, and he's like 17 years old, which is ridiculous.
He's got a lot of time ahead of him to build that resume. That's the scary part.
Exactly right. This dude can be doing this for another 15 years if he wants to. It's insane.
Larry, how about you?
Without a doubt. I mean, we've had 6 races, and he's won 5 of them so far just this year alone. I mean, he's done it. He's earned the titles. I mean, the guy has done it, and now he's got the crown jewel. I mean, honestly, I guess at this point in time, it's just how much more can he do? He's already in the conversation, but it's more of like how much more can he do to make him like separate himself? Like, I mean, into like the legendary names. You know what I mean? Like, he's already in the conversation, but I don't know. I mean, how far until he turns into like that name where we're like, oh, like a Mario? I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Well, if he wins this next champion, he's going to win this next championship.
Yes.
After he wins his 4th championship, he's definitely going to be there. I think he's still got a couple of Indy 500s in him. He's going to have plenty of time. Michael, it's near unanimous. How about you?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I can't even say anything. Like, you can't even say it's the car. Like,
no,
it's just he came, he saw it, and he most definitely conquered. So,
I mean, the last blocker on him was he never won on an oval, and he wins at Indy,
right?
For Christ's sake, for the first one.
Yep.
What can you say? I'm pretty sure Roger is happy about that because after the Indy 500. It was announced actually today that all 3 of the Andretti cars were relegated to the back. Marcus Ericsson, Kyle Kirkwood, Marcus Ericsson, Kyle Kirkwood were relegated to the back due to a infraction of the technical rules after the race. Ericsson finished 2nd. Could you see what we would be talking about today if he had won that race?
Oh,
jeez,
pain.
Oh.
We'd have to find another name for like the 109th running. Like, I mean, we had obviously the beginning with the horrible crap that happened, and then this happened. This would be like the cursed like running of the 500. I don't know what it would be.
The cursed 500.
Make it the 113th.
Yeah,
it didn't want to wait. It's like, no, 5 years before. I don't care. Like,
well, I'll tell you what, the legend here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is that, you know, that she, being the track, chooses the winner. That's been the saying for this track for forever. So something tells me had he won, that was by her decision, and we wouldn't have had any issues with it. But maybe this meets me being, you know, a homer in that regard. But
I mean, I can see that because there have been some races where, especially the Andretti's, poor Andretti's, that I don't know what deal Mario made to win that Indy 500, but man, I wish that curse would go away.
He spent it all. It was all him.
Yep.
Nobody else did it. He was the one who spent all of it.
Yeah, man. It was so funny too because we're watching this race, and all of a sudden Ericsson has that great pit, near the end of the race, and I'm like, did Andretti just finally realize how to not step on their own junk? And no, they didn't, because here he is. He's back, relegated to the back of the field.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to ask where was the greatest racing driver in the world was.
We're going to get to that, but I got to get this Colton Herta point out first. He chose the first pit stop this week to throw the entire race away. So
screw it,
good
right?
job, Colton. Great job, buddy.
Great job, buddy. I can just taste the sarcasm.
It's becoming his calling card at this point. If Colton Herta is in a position to win and there is a pit stop coming, he's going to screw it up.
Yeah, he's going to lose. Yep. Never fails.
I don't understand why pitting is so difficult for these guys in Indy.
I don't know.
I've watched NASCAR for I can't tell you how many years, and we rarely see these kinds of problems in the pit. But these IndyCar drivers just can't pit.
That was
just ask Ferrari.
Oh God.
Oh, come on. Yeah, we deserve it.
I'm sorry. I got to do the self roast. I got to do the self roast.
Damn.
As a new member of the Tifosi, those two down there They know the feeling.
I love
Yeah,
them, but
bro.
this just, yeah, it's like watching
We
the
all do.
Raiders. Okay, it's just it's oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, real
But,
quick, you all notice at the beginning of that race how Takuma Sato was just on cruise control?
Yeah, he was doing great. I thought he was going to be up there. I'm surprised they fell back.
Well, then
at the end of that
then
race.
he Sato'd himself in the pits.
Yep.
I mean,
Ryan Hunter Ray.
he Sato'd
had the-
himself.
Oh my god.
Brian Hunter Ray, I think, was the
believe you
status
just
because he
said
was
that.
going to win that race. Then he stalls in pit road.
Right.
Yeah.
What the hell, right? I mean, Darryl, this was okay. Let's just be real, because again, I heard you guys right now. It's hilarious. I was letting my wife listen to you guys washing dishes right now about the hilarious thing that is Monaco, because it's like the worst thing in the world. Like, why is it a thing still? I don't know. But anyway, so I was explaining to her why it sucks, and she's like, "Oh, that makes sense." So I'm like, "Okay, so you don't like racing very much?" She's like, "Yeah, not really. It's boring." I'm like, "Okay, multiply that by like 5 million." And that's to us racing fans. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe we need an extremely eventful Indy and Coca-Cola 600 to make up for the crap that we get from Monaco.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that was the reason why this year, Darryl. I don't know.
Yeah, Indy and the Coke 600 definitely carried the day because Monaco was just
dumpster fire.
They gotta do something to that track to make it interesting.
You know what you do with it? You bin it. Just throw away the race, man.
Please.
So I don't want to like say that, but honestly, like the way Formula One is just going with their tracks and their track selection of just making everything a street circuit, it's like, what do you replace it with?
You go back to the Nürburgring.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Bring the German GP back.
I take the Nürburgring.
Hockenheim.
I take Malaysia GP. I would take the Turkish Grand Prix back.
Heck, I'll take the South Korean Grand Prix, and that track wasn't very good.
I think that track got tore down, actually.
Aw.
I'll take the U.S. Nats being in the morning with NHRA, and then just put Formula One another day for the. I mean, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Well, just put the Formula One cars in Le Mans already.
I don't think the state of Indiana could handle the traffic of the U.S. Nats and the Indy 500 on the same day.
We could barely handle the traffic from a Colts game, let alone anything else.
Right, Mike Slim's there. I don't think you think the 405 and I-95 here is bad. Try to hold those two events on the same day.
Yeah, good luck. Forget about it.
So Mike, we said we'd have you here for 20 minutes, and we're running up on time. So I want to get to the last important part of the Indy 500, which was Kyle Larson attempting to do the double. And boy, oh boy, was this certainly one of the attempts of all time. We'll start with the Indy 500, where he just wasn't a factor this month, and then brings out the penultimate caution of the race by inexplicably downshifting in the third is the best way I can describe it.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if y'all saw this yet or not, or heard this on the socials or whatever. Dude, talk about karma. Jen mentioned karma earlier. So they've got him on his radio, right? Parade lap, whatnot, pace laps, whatever you want to call it. And McLaughlin does his thing. And they radio to him. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna be on caution. We had an accident. Oh, it's McLaughlin." And then Larson drops the F-bomb, idiot. And then gives the old sarcastic, "Hey, thumbs up, buddy, way to go." And then Larson's day kind of went to crap after that. So that's called karma, my friend.
Indy does not like when tourists mess with her family. So, Kai, what you got? What you had coming to you, buddy?
Such a bad day.
You called him a tourist.
I mean, he was for the Indy 500.
Like, I understand why Kyle Larson was upset because he was on a time crunch, but that's not okay.
No.
You're
well, NASCAR can fix that
You're
by
a
just
guest
starting
on that track.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But guys, he's the greatest racing driver of all time.
After yesterday,
after Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton,
say that again.
Alex Palou.
That's been
How
our favorite
slow
punchline
bury
ever since
him
he said it, by
alive.
the way.
Hold on. I'm missing other drivers. Any F1 driver ever.
Tony Stewart, who's won in like 20 different series.
Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson. I'm running out of hands.
Sorry.
Robbie Gordon.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Dick Trickle.
Oh, no, that's a name and a half.
Hey,
Ricky
not?
Bobby. Yeah, even though he's fictional, he's still better.
Ricky Bobby, the French guy from the same movie. I forgot his name, but
Yeah.
I mean, no. And honestly, though, on a low key, kind of serious. I don't know, because Dale was kind of laughing too when he said it. But at the end of it all, they were sitting up there in the box at the end. And they were just talking about the race, and they started bringing up Larson. And then Dale said, "At one point, is it too much?" Like he says, "Okay, like I just want to ask everybody here." And, it was a roundtable kind of thing, obviously, but he says, "When is it too much?" He said, "We've only seen a few drivers attempt this, only a few good results. Weather is going to be a factor sometimes." He's like, "But when is it too much?" Because he's like, "You can be so great here at NASCAR, but then you go over there, and then is that your legacy now? Do you suck at everything else, but are you good at NASCAR? So you see what I mean?" He's like, "So is it going to tarnish you?" So he's just saying, when are some drivers that's going to say, "You know what, I'm not going to do it no more because it's just too much." And I just thought it was kind of funny to think like, hey, IndyCar drivers don't say, "Hey, I'm gonna race today, Indy, and then go race the Coca-Cola." They can give a crap less about the Coca-Cola 600, but you know what I mean? So
well,
so it's
the reason you've only seen one driver come from Indy to Daytona. It was John Andretti. He DNQ'd for the NASCAR race. But the thing is, in IndyCar, the Indy 500 is the season. This is the lifetime for a driver. They work the entire year from right now to get back here next year to try to win that race. And they don't need any distractions, including trying to run in some random NASCAR race in the afternoon.
Why?
The Coke, the Coke 600, for as much of a crown jewel in NASCAR it is, at the end of the day, it's just another points race. It is not the race.
Right.
So I kind of understand it, but it's two completely different disciplines, and it takes a special driver to do it. There's a reason that Tony Stewart is the only one that's come closest to winning.
And what was it, Darryl? It was second, I think, at the Brickyard, and
he was third and sixth.
Third and sixth. I mean, look
at
that.
Pretty good day.
And look at him. I mean, he's raced in everything. And the guy was freaking in Rolex. Okay. I mean, look at him now. He's behind the wheel of a freaking Nitro top field dragster. I mean, the guy can do
what
anything.
A race.
Yeah.
And he's kicking ass right now. I love it. Like, I'm loving this. So, I mean, you see a guy like that who, if it has wheels on it and an engine, he's good to go. But it's like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
I think the double, I don't know who else could really run it. You're really not going to see, you're not going to get a current IndyCar driver to do it. I just don't see it happening. As far as NASCAR, I think if Larson does it again, tries again next year, sure, but I just don't see a NASCAR driver that is going to do it. I know Joey Logano spoke of doing it, but Penske, he's all in on trying to win that race. I don't think he would bring in a fourth car like that.
No, I agree with you 100%. And the way Larson was talking here, at least locally, this sounds like next year's probably not going to happen. He said he wants to do it again, but he's like, it might be a while for I get back to it. So
it's for the best.
That for what's worth. Who knows? At the end of the day,
I want to see Kyle Busch try it.
That'd be interesting.
I would like to see Kyle Busch try it at least once before he retires. I wish Jeff Gordon had been able to do it, but it just never materialized, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would like to see Tony do it one more time. Honestly,
he'd probably win. I'm sorry, he's just that damn good.
I mean, Tony unfortunately shot it down, but
yeah,
he did, and I get why. But I just, as a fan, I would love to see him do at least one more shot at it. Would have been cool.
I'll be kind to Tony on this point. Then Mike, we're gonna let you go. I don't know if he'd fit in an Indy car anymore.
That's facts. That's facts.
He's put some weight on since the last time he's driven an Indy car.
Yeah, I actually saw him at an event last year, and
Yeah.
he's not like now. Granted, it's not like he's some 300-pound obese man, but
Well, not anymore.
yeah, but then he was still like he wasn't fitting in the IndyCar.
No, and then he's like has an actual beef with NASCAR right now, so he will not be coming back anytime soon. But Mike, I'm so glad you had fun at the Indy 500. We're gonna have to meet up there at some point. Larry, if you want to stick around and talk to Coke 600, by all means, you can stick around. We're going to take a quick break. Check out Big Mike on Friday with Indy Sports Nation, and we're going to take a break, and we'll come back to talk the last part of the Memorial Day trifecta, the Coke 600, and Larson's second attempt to try to win on the day.
Womp womp.
It would just surprise me if it went worse than the first. Talk about this on the other side of the break here on the Extra Mile on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hockey fans, I'm Adam Kernick.
And I'm Zach Puplis.
Together, we are the newest version of Hockey Talk on IE Sports Radio, The Neutral Zone.
Zone.
We love hockey, but we also know it's not everyone's first sport. So we want to make this show as much for new fans as for the diehards.
Whether you can name all the Swedes on the 08 Red Wings Stanley Cup team, or if you can't tell if Varlamov is a goalie or the latest trendy vodka, we're here to help. With facts, figures, and outrageous fans, we bring you all the hard-hitting hockey news you can handle, while still keeping it fun and on the rails. Well, mostly.
So tune in every week as we go around the hockey world, from college to Canada, the minors and the majors, and everywhere in between.
So bring your cellies.
And your one-timers.
You wicked wristas.
And be sure to protect your five-hole.
Catch the Neutral Zone every week on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
We promise not to pick on the Arizona Coyotes every episode.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
And we're back here in the Extra Mile on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. The gang's all here. Larry B joining us as well. And we roll into, wrong button. We roll into the final segment of the evening as I fumble around with buttons on this side. But we're back here and we're going to talk the Coke 600. And it's always a great day of racing. Oh, he's muted on himself. Okay. So it's always a great day of racing for the afternoon and evening. The morning with the with the Monaco Grand Prix to kind of wake you up, then put you back to sleep. The lunchtime fun with the Indy 500, which gets you prepped for the nightcap, which is the Coke 600. And yet again, the Coke 600. Actually, this race actually delivered. And we'll start with the conversation on the broadcast on Amazon Prime, which was a big talking point this week or coming up leading to this broadcast. And I think they knocked it out of the park.
I agree. I actually forgot I was watching on an app a couple of times because it was seamless, and they found a way to bring so many greats back into it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was an experience. Like, I forgot about some of those drivers, and then here they are talking to me, and I was like, "Oh, I remember him."
Yeah, seeing Corey LaJoie, seeing Carl Edwards
Yes.
back again
I
was
know.
so cool.
And he
Carlington.
hasn't changed at all. He looks exactly the same.
He really does.
He's Keanu.
Yep.
Right?
He doesn't age. It was a good race, guys. I enjoyed it, except for the end. I'm sorry. I like threw stuff. I don't have rage problems at all. I'm sorry. When my driver loses, I don't break things. I don't.
You're a
it's
Raiders
okay.
fan. You tell me you don't have rage problems?
That's a lost cause. Byron actually wins. The Raiders. I'm sorry. The Raiders are the equivalent to like who sucked horribly in NASCAR. That was like guaranteed 35th through 40th. Who was that? Let me think.
There's a couple of them.
like-
Quinn Half comes to mind.
Oh.
Previous guest of the show, Quinn Half. We loved him, but
Poor
it just
Quinn.
didn't work out.
Poor Quinn.
God, who drove the Extends car for a while?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I can't remember his name.
But
And it
you
was
get what
that
I'm saying,
bad.
guys.
I gotta Google this. Hold on.
You
You
get
guys
what I'm
talk amongst
saying.
yourselves.
Oh, I will. We will, because Darryl. Yeah. Anyway, so when you have a driver that usually does pretty good, it is heartbreaking. Like I said, the Raiders. It's just like, okay, so I mean, you're kind of just thinking like, okay, well, what's the line going to be today? Like, how much are we going to lose by today? Like, we already know we're going to lose. This is by how much. That's kind of like what it is. But with Byron, look, last night it killed me. I'm sorry, it killed me because I was. Oh my gosh, he had it. It was in his hands. However, I cannot get mad at the guy. Well, I'm sorry, I cannot get mad at Ross Chastain. Homeboy started like what, freaking 39th, I think, or
Started 40th after he put the car in the wall in practice.
dead last. And Homeboy came in like a bang. I mean, look, if you're gonna lose anybody, it's the crazy guy who comes all the way back, like literally all the way back. So it sucked. I was not happy for like 5 minutes, and then after the watermelon thing that he usually does, I'm like, all right, I guess, haha, like good for you. But still, it sucked, man. I was mad. I was so mad.
Yeah, but the broadcast was great. Michael, I don't know if you got to watch a lot of it, but the best part I think about it was you didn't have any full screen commercials during Green Flag, and I think that was what we've been begging for years. And Amazon Prime being online, Amazon money behind it, so they don't have to pay that much for sponsors because it's Amazon, and I pay them like $60 a month. Actually, no, I do the year plan, but you know what I mean. Most of us have Amazon accounts, so we pay that fee. So the commercials weren't too bad at all, to be honest.
It wasn't too bad. I think it was really good for what it was.
Yeah, and then the last 70 laps, I think, were green. Not green, no commercials, which is awesome. We had Adam Alexander in the booth with Steve Letarte and Dale Earnhardt Jr. And the best part is those three so much better than what the Fox crew is doing right now. I love Mike Joy. I love Kevin Harvick. I can tolerate Clint Boyer. It's not a great booth right now.
Yeah, they're almost like a certain somebody on Monday Night Football. It's not named Mike Tirico.
Yeah,
I
know what you mean.
It's like listening to that. It's like mute. Yeah. So yeah, I get you.
I went to the Sunday night game between Washington and Atlanta, so I didn't have to listen to that guy. So we were all good there, and we won and we clinched the playoffs that night, so it was also good. But anyway. The one thing that surprised me about the Amazon broadcast is we're getting the uncensored radios. Because
I noticed that. I was like,
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Curse words.
Yeah, I'm like, Carson Hocevar drops that F-bomb. We got to talk about Carson Hocevar after this.
Oh.
He drops the F-bomb, and it's unbleeped. And I'm like, oh, so we're just doing that then.
Yeah. I was like, oh, where's the FIA?
Yep. I mean, it makes sense because they are on a streaming service, so they don't have to deal with the FCC guidelines, so they can just play that radio straight out. But it was a shock that they actually did it.
It was like when you get a hot mic from a referee, you know what I mean? You know, holding 55, 5-yard penalty in the background, mother.
There's been a couple of those.
The referee's like turning it down as fast as he can.
Yeah,
Mother,
I wasn't holding him. He's gonna, you hear that in the background. You know.
Yeah, there's been a couple of those in the NFL, but I was surprised. And then I think at the end of that race, when Byron couldn't catch it, somebody just screams out, "Gosh darn it," on the radio. That's not what he actually said, but I think that was Byron's radio they turned on. And I guess they're just going to let that fly, which if they are, more power to them. But no, I wish it was more than 5 races because this is going to be a lot of fun. And then we have Max coming up after this. So, no, but those races are also going to be on TNT. So,
okay. Yep.
So hopefully Amazon can get more of the pie going forward if this is how much reverence they're going to treat the sport. So, it was a good broadcast. Let's get into the race. They had a great race to call, Amazon, in a Coke 600, where I've been watching this sport since I was about 8 or 9 years old. The Coke 600 goes 2 ways and 2 ways only. The most boring race of the day, or out of your mind exciting. It was definitely an exciting race today with everything that makes the next gen car great. It was tough for this car it's a tough car to handle on this track. But William Byron, stages 1, 2, 3, it looked like it was going to be a runaway at first.
Yeah. It absolutely did. I couldn't believe it when he lost the spot, and then I'm like, it's all right. There's still 4 laps left. He can get it back. And then he came so close. And then he slid back, and I was like, oh, it's over.
He led 289 laps on the day, Larry. And here's a statistic. That now sets the record for most laps led without a win since Junior Johnson in 1963. When he led 283 laps and failed to win the race.
Oh, okay, Darryl. So he just went to Raider Land because he's setting records just in the negative. Cool. What? Come on, man. Thanks, Darryl. Thanks.
Those are records
you want to set.
Those are records you hate to break, man.
Yeah, I mean, Jen knows she's a Browns fan. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you know.
I mean, I'm a Commanders fan.
More quarterbacks than any team ever in the history of the world.
Look, I'm a Commanders fan that survived the Dan Snyder era. You ain't got to tell me twice.
Exactly.
Yeah. It feels bad for William Byron because I don't know why him and Alex Bowman get so much crap at Hendrick Motorsports to the point it's always by the fans, never by anybody in the media, random stories that they're about to get fired for whatever reason. But all he does is go out there, win races, runs consistently to the playoffs, and gets to the Final Four.
Yeah.
If that's going to get a driver fired, by all means, put him on my team. I will take him.
Please.
He just got extended. He's not going anywhere.
Exactly. And I'm so glad they signed that extension so people will shut up.
Me too. So
Thank
everybody can shut up about it already. Talking to you, Chris.
Well, Chris is more.
He's kidding.
I know he doesn't like him because he's not a good teammate.
Yeah. We love you, Chris, if you're listening. We hope to have you back soon. The planting season is not going the best out there from last toll. It's been very rainy in upstate New York. So we're thinking about you and all the farmers in upstate New York and across the country as they're trying to get through this planting season with this wild weather that keeps coming through. Thankfully, it avoided our racetracks this week, but it was a challenge. William Byron, I feel he gets disrespected. Because unfortunately he went to Liberty University. Yeah. That is a conversation I'm not even going to touch on this program, but that is that school's got some skeletons. That's all we're going to say, and we'll move on from there. He also is filling in for Jeff Gordon in the 24. Jeff Gordon is now the vice chairman, basically getting ready to be the boss in Hendrick Motorsports when Rick Hendrick retires. So there's some controversy around that, but Byron is just an actually good driver, y'all.
He is. And the thing is, Jeff Gordon was so well respected and revered in the sport. He put this kid in his car.
Yes.
Give him some respect.
And I think Jeff Gordon knows talent. He did pick up Jimmy Johnson and put his name to it when nobody else would.
Yes.
Jimmy Johnson would then go win 7 championships.
He sure did.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for him.
Yeah.
Yesterday too. I was like, oh.
Jimmy's just in that stage of his career where he's just driving to have fun, and that's just how I look at
but
it.
it's just I never like to see Jimmy Johnson crash.
Yeah,
I know.
And now that he's older, it's just even worse.
I know. Sorry. I guess.
Like, oh.
Yeah, it's tough. But I mean, it was kind of cool. I mean, hey, Jimmy Johnson got to be in the Indy 500 too. Kind of. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Okay, I had to. But hey,
I mean, he was in it, but
he was in it for like 5 seconds. Yeah. Regardless, that sucked. I know, poor guy. It was a rough one, man. That was a crazy race. I mean, it was really eventful, and then of course the way it ended was freaking cinema. So I mean, what do you do? But I mean, yeah, honestly, guys, I really enjoyed. I mean, obviously the crap stain that's Monaco. I'm sorry, it's being nice. You know, at least we got 2 other races that were really, really good.
Yep. And Carson Hocevar should have had an opportunity to go for this win. He went from the back, got as high as second. We restart the stage. They go barreling into turn 1, and that engine just explodes. I haven't seen one do that in a while.
That was crazy.
Yeah, we've had some strange engine malfunctions in NASCAR this year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that took out Bubba Wallace, which we're in that summer slide, y'all. It is inevitable, unfortunately. And 2311 in a whole just been down this month. Riley Herbst is Riley Herbst. And Reddick had a speeding penalty late in the race that relegated his day. Michael, how do you rectify this if you're 2311? Because you're coming into the summer and you're scuffling. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was certainly surprised to see them struggle like they are right now. Especially since early on in the season, and if you're going off of last year, they were doing really well. So I don't know. I'm just surprised to see them struggling, but I just think maybe the races haven't gone their way.
No, P26, P28, and P35 for 2311. Certainly a day you just want to move on from as quick as possible. But for Ross Chastain to go from 40th to 1st for a Trackhouse team that has not been very good this year, they needed this in the worst way. And now I think that team has got a shot in the arm to head into the summer.
Yeah. They earned their spot.
It's so true, guys. Like, honestly, I know it's kind of rough. It's rough because what do you do? You know what I mean? Like, what do you? You got to cheer for him, right?
Yeah.
You got to cheer. You got to cheer for him, but at the same exact time, it's just so hard because you're like, why? Like, why? I don't know. Sorry, that killed me.
And going forward, Chastain has a chance to do the double because he's got Nashville Super Speedway coming up, past winner there. That could be a good race there in Nashville on the concrete at the Super Speedway. Thank God we did not go to the fairgrounds with how this car runs on short tracks now. But The resurrection of Nashville Super Speedway is going well, and we'll be back there this Sunday to put on another great race.
Yeah. I don't know. Next week should be fun. I'm sorry. I'm just heartbroken. This is gonna take a little bit, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not ready yet. It was rough though. Like I said, you got to cheer for Ross Chastain. You got to be excited that he did what he did. But yeah. Anyway, sorry. So moving forward, look, next week should be fun. I'm excited for next week. Hopefully, we have better luck with the 24 next week.
Yeah. So we have coming up next week. Before we get out of here, we have IndyCar going to Detroit for the street course race there. We have IndyCar for the Grand Prix of Spain. We'll see how that goes. And Nashville Super Speedway for NASCAR. IMSA will also be back in action at Detroit. They'll be there partnering with IndyCar for the Saturday. And we are getting closer, 2 weeks to Le Mans. I cannot wait. I need to see when that race actually is, because I might be at a drag race for part of that race. No, it starts. Ooh. Yeah, it's going to be the 15th. So I will actually be at a drag race, and I will have the race on my phone because I have a Max account. So I'll be watching it as I'll be watching a race while I'm watching a race.
Hey, Larry.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Sorry, what's up?
Hey, Larry, maybe this race Ferrari can actually win.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh. Yeah. I'm sorry. They've been hurting my feelings lately, okay?
Mine too.
Right? Ferrari and me right now just aren't friends. We're like, you know what? We're cool, but we're not to the pound it just yet. You know, we're keeping our distance. It'll be fun though, guys. I'm excited for this weekend. Yeah, I mean, cool. I mean, yeah, boring Spain. Yeah, New England Nats. Let's go NHRA. Looking for that.
Good to see them back in action as well.
So looking forward to it, guys.
Yep. So it's gonna be another great weekend of racing. We'll be back next Monday to talk about it all, of course. Larry, thank you so much for joining us. Michael, don't be a stranger. We love having you on.
Yes, Michael.
And
I know, guys. I know, but work is work. So
so they did move you to the Monday. Okay.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, that sucks. All right. And Jen, thank you as well. We'll be back next week. Chris, obviously, will be back in due time. But hey, thank you all for joining us for another great edition of The Extra Mile. And we will see you at the next green flag. Good night, everybody.